Normalcy. Everybody wants normalcy. 2020 was the year to forget. Like usual, in every election, there's always a bunch of finger pointing. Doesn't matter who it is, who's running for office. Donald Trump was the perfect guinea pig for this country for fingers to be pointed. All because everybody wants normalcy. What is normalcy? You want to go back to the way things were. You want things to go back to how you used to live. Go as you want, go as you please. Do as you feel. But you have to understand something. In dealing with normalcy, you have to give up something to get those things back. And we all know what that is. But a lot of people have their own ideology of what they think it is. And it's simple. So today we elected a new president, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I've seen the comments from black folks all over the world. A lot of women say this is a good thing because they elected a first woman. Whether she is qualified for the job or not doesn't seem to matter. But once again, we want normalcy. Keep that in mind. Joe Biden stated that he's going to he's reversing the travel ban, rejoining Paris in the climate accord, face mask mandate on federal property, halt evictions, extend pause on student loan payments. And he also talking about $2,000 for stimulus paybacks, $1,400 for another stimulus paybacks, raising minimum wage to $15 an hour, and $1.9 trillion will go into those three things I stated. $440 billion for small business and helping of the communities, $400 billion to fight COVID-19 and funding through schools, vaccinations, and testing facilities. And last but not least, 100 million vaccinations in the first 100 days. All for the sake of wanting normalcy. People want to go back to their corporate jobs. They want to go back to their businesses. They want to open up the economy. They want to go back to the bars, the clubs. They want to go to sporting events, concerts, restaurants. They want to fly again, travel all over the world, travel cross country, see family, friends, loved ones. All for the sake of bringing back normalcy. But I'm going to be that guy. There's no more normalcy. When you take the vaccine, you just gave up your normalcy. You just gave up everything you stood for. But it's okay. I understand. Because majority of people in this society are sheeps. About 90% of people in this society are sheeps. I don't give a damn if you Democrat or Republican. I don't give a damn if you're a conservative or liberal. I don't give a damn if you're right or left. I don't give a damn if you're male or female. I don't give a damn if you support feminist, globalist, and racialist ideologies, whether you support them or not. 90% of Americans want normalcy back. Trump was not that guy to bring normalcy back. They didn't want him to, even though the man done good for the country. I remember when he first stepped on the scene in the office, everybody kept hollering out, he's bringing back slavery. I mean, that was one of the most idiotic shit I think I've ever heard. That's when I knew how delusional black folks have become. But ever since the quote-unquote so-called Black Lives Matter movement back in, was that 2015, when the situation in Ferguson, Missouri, Michael Brown, they ramped it up a little bit. I told you, the civil rights movement and the Black Lives Matter movement are all the same. They're supported, mainly their support is for LGBTQ and women's movement. All for the sake of for dead black men. Whether back in the civil rights movement, black folks were quote unquote being hung and lynched and treated unfairly, to now where black men are being so-called shot down in the street by so-called unarmed black men by the police. Civil rights movement and the Black Lives Matter movement are all in the same. And Donald Trump was not the man. Agendas have to be pushed. So the number one way to start is, if you want your normalcy back in this society, you got to be supportive of these movements. You have to be that person to support Black Lives Matter, feminism, and globalist ideologies, which globalists and feminism equals the LGBTQ community and the Me Too movement, and the racialist ideology is representing of the Black Lives Matter movement and any other thing that is racial. That's just how it is. But sooner or later, this society is not going to follow. Because guess what entered the scene? March 20th, 2020. COVID-19. So when the COVID-19 stepped on the scene, within a year, now we're talking about over 100 million vaccines for your asses. So if you want normalcy back, you're going to have to take the vaccine. So let's put everything into proper perspective right now. We got the feminist movement going. We got the globalist movement. And we got the racialist situation movement going. On top of the COVID-19 and the vaccine. And we're already trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. The more money we keep pulling out from the Federal Reserve, inflation going to go high with this fiat money, which is not worth not worth a dime. It's only worth less than 77 cents to the dollar. Less than that. And the more that we keep doing these things, the more the fiat money is not worth anything. The prices of everything is going to go through the roof. That's just how it is. So when we're looking at these things, it's almost eventually you won't have a room to breathe. Prices of milk, eggs, bread, meat are going to go sky high through the roof. That $100 bill, you're going to hold on like it's a woman, like it's your last woman. You're going to hold on to it tight. So if you want normalcy back, you need to take that vaccine to do all those things that you wanted to do. Mainly is to keep your job. That is the start. And people will say, well, it's not mandatory. You know, guess what? It wouldn't be here if there was not an agenda or reason for it to be here. Like I said, for this society to go back to normal, you have to take the vaccine. It's just that simple. And once you take that vaccine, normalcy is actually out the window, because you don't know what's in this vaccine. They can tell you any damn thing. And we all know that women are followers. They're followers of instructions just to keep what they got. For anything to change in this society, sacrifices has to be made. And a lot of these, in majority of these sacrifices that has to be made, it's going to be men. It's not going to be women. Women are not created equal to men. They're supplementary to men. And this situation here, you're seeing, is only going to get worse. But you have to have the intellect and the intel to take these things in to understand what's going on around you. That's why you have to do your research, do your digging, and understanding what's going on around you. I don't just speak just to be speaking. There's a reason behind what I say. All these things Joe Biden is talking about with his executive action plans. This country, the next 4 years, if this society is still around, is going to eventually circle the drain. It has no choice. All this stuff that I talked about, including his plans, this country is not going to survive. So eventually things are going to have to change. Whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not, I get it. You're probably not going to get it. But you have to take things into moderation. So when you take these vaccines, you don't know what's in them. But it's okay. You know why? Because you want normalcy back. You want things to go back to normal. So you are willing to do anything and everything you can possibly in your God natural ability to get your normal life back. Just so you can go back and do the things that you used to do. But I am here to tell you right now, on this day of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris inauguration, normalcy will never return. You can mark my words on it. Once that people start taking the vaccine, your life as normalcy is over with. You can do what you like, and I know majority of people and Americans are going to take this vaccine because their number one reason in taking the vaccine is to keep their jobs. I don't care what anybody else says. They're all going to say, well, I don't want to get sick. I'm sorry. That's a shitty excuse. That's an uneducated excuse. My knowledge and resources tell me the reason why people are taking the vaccine is because of they want normalcy back. And guess what? It's not coming back anymore.